Prepare to attack the enemy's control points.
Get behind me, Doctor!
I am fully charged!
You are listening to Control Point, a Team Fortress 2 podcast with Brent Copeland, Eric Fullerton, Wes Wilson, and Spencer Williams.
Control Point, Episode 12, recorded on January 8th, 2008.
I'm Chaos.
I'm Nailhead.
I'm Devil Turnip.
I'm Wes Wilson.
You're always Wes Wilson.
I know.
Welcome to another episode.
That was my little psychology test. I want to see what would happen if I just changed the format like that.
Wow.
And y'all just y'all just stayed on topic and moved right along. That's great.
Man.
That's great.
Yeah.
New episode here, episode 12. What do you think? Going good so far, huh?
Yes.
Hey, we're out of classes.
We are,
classes to do.
You're like school on Saturday. No class.
And there's something else we don't have today. Sorry, but we do not have a briefcase today.
We don't have a briefcase.
No, I was going to just lie and say we do and make a little sound effect because no one can tell. So, in fact, yeah, sure, we have a briefcase.
Really?
Ready?
That was the worst briefcase I've ever heard.
I know. I don't.
No, really, we really have a briefcase.
Our listeners can't
Look
see,
in.
but Eric is grinning like a fool.
What's funny is we
You don't
actually
need-
got an email about the briefcase this week.
We did.
Is that in the briefcase? Anyway, in the briefcase, we've got some more information about the LAN party this coming Friday. We've got 2 fort strategies. We've got some information about our brand spanking new European server for our European listeners. We've got a mouse review. Do we have anything else?
No.
You
We make a call. Yes, we do, but we don't know what it is quite
Well, just
yet.
look in the briefcase. Is there anything else we missed in there?
There's so many pockets in there.
Yeah,
You never
there
can
is.
tell.
And I don't
Zippers.
want to open the zippers because people will be able to hear them and they'll be like, oh, you got zippers. And it's like screwing up your sound quality. So anyway, hey, Wes, how was your week?
Horrendous S's. Was that the one that was on the iTunes review? My week was fairly uneventful. I did a little bit of gameplay, but then the other night I broke my computer.
You broke it. Did you like throw it across the room in a fit of rage?
Did you get mad because you had to play engineer?
No, I really don't know how I broke it. I was playing DDO, Dungeons and Dragons Online.
Weak.
It says the guy who just paid money for Tabula Rasa.
And you need to learn how to pronounce things too. Tabula rasa.
Tabula?
Tabula. Yes.
Really?
It's Latin.
Is that our next podcast?
I think not.
But anyway, I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons Online, having a great time with some friends of mine from Birmingham, and
The other 5 people that play.
yeah, and we were doing a great, and then all of a sudden my sound went out, and I have no idea why, and I don't know how to fix it.
So, but that's all? Is the sound? Everything else works? Just not
Can
the
you
sound?
imagine playing with no sound?
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
would suck, honestly.
My main thing is that I want to fix it too much. Like I look at it and I go, I have no sound. I need to fix this. I don't think, wow, it's really time for a nice refreshing game. It's I'm not getting the game I want. I need to fix this now. So yeah. So I spent many hours. I tried new drivers. I tried using different chords.
New sound card?
Well, I have onboard sound and a Sound Blaster 5.1, which doesn't have any registered drivers for Vista.
Again, it's
For Vista?
Vista.
I don't go back and play your Tabula Rasa. Anyway,
On your Vista.
on your Vista,
Me, Joanne.
you're making him more famous.
Oh,
Stop
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry.
So
Did you
anyway,
try getting a new computer?
this is a fairly new computer.
Yeah, I know. I was just making fun of you.
I know.
I've got one that the sound card would work. I'll trade you.
Really?
I don't
No.
think you want it, though. I think it's
No,
a
I don't.
trick.
Yeah,
Get an
I don't
axe.
think I want that either. So I haven't gotten to play that much this week. So most of my 2-fort information will be from memory.
Okay. Who wants to go
Sweet.
next?
Awesome.
I will.
Okay.
So this week I learned how to record demos.
Yeah,
record the gameplay.
Really cool.
Yeah, I learned last night. We had our first clan practice, which went really well. In fact, I'm getting ahead of myself. General Tao is a listener. He's the one who chimed me in on how to record, and also posted a couple of tutorials, a video tutorial, and things on how to record, play back, how to make AVIs from that. I'm sure a lot of people already know this, thus the piles and piles of videos, TF2 video stuff on YouTube. I just kind of figured people frapped that stuff, but apparently no. There's a way easier way. It doesn't take up a lot of performance, or there's no performance hit, and it records all the sounds, all the people talking and stuff, which is totally sweet, except for the person who records the video.
Yeah.
He's left out, he or she.
But I think that we found out a way to get around that, right? If you just, I think our server can let us record everyone. Is that true?
Yeah. It's a little unknown at this point, but we're going to try to figure that out, because on clan night, we can, in theory, we can record every player playing, and then I can take all those, make AVIs, edit them together, and make a cool movie. So we'll see.
And people may be able to just watch it straight from the server, too.
Yeah,
which would be
possibly.
cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little angry about this. How long have we been doing this and no one told us?
I know, yeah.
What is up with that? People.
Yeah. Anyone listening to the show, let us in on, like, cool stuff.
Yeah, especially the stuff that we don't know.
Yeah, stuff that we don't talk about. We're most likely we don't know about it.
I say just guess. Just guess if we know it or not. If you think we don't know it, tell us.
And if you're making the choice between sending in a tip on how to double jump as a scout or a really cool idea, go for
the double jumping scout, you know?
because that's what we like to do.
So I guess other than learning how to record, clan night went really well. There's a few really in-depth play-by-play type of reports in our forums under the clan information section, and it went very well. Basically, we learned that communication is key.
Yeah.
Without communication, there's a bunch of idiots running around playing their own little game.
This sounds like a corporate meeting.
It does.
Are you thinking outside the box too?
Yeah. Let me just touch base. I hate that term. Ain't nobody touching my base. So, communication is key. You will, basically everyone needs to go for a common goal. They all need to, the other big thing. You have communication and you have a leader. Even if the leader has poor judgment and is doing something that you don't agree with, it doesn't matter. Get a new leader. Until then, follow the leader, because everyone is doing one thing and one thing only.
Huh.
So those two things really increased the gameplay, really focused people. It became a serious game very fast. I mean, it wasn't casual. People aren't just talking about their day and politics and stuff. I mean, it was really... We all got down to it, and it was really fun.
So we started to get steamrolled a little bit, and then there was a little more chatting.
Yeah.
Man, we're losing. We might as well talk about. So, how's your?
The problem was only one team had a leader. The other team had no leader. That was the problem. Communication was there. But,
how did you decide on the leader?
I didn't decide because I was on the leaderless team.
Well, I don't know if I would say that so much, because I actually was taking notes on who I thought would be a good leader on our team, and I think Cardinal was probably the one most geared on our team to be a leader. Because he was trying to get ideas out now that we weren't following him or weren't doing things correctly besides that, and he wasn't really given power to be leader, so that kind of hinders him a little bit too.
Okay, on the other side, Rasputin was the leader, and he made it known that he is the leader. Everyone kind of voted, and everyone kind of voted for him,
awesome.
and everyone knew what was going on.
He took a vote. He didn't come in and strongman his way in. Send his bribed police chief in to rough up the opposition.
No, it was very democratic.
It's not like a junta kind of thing.
Well, he did a good job. We were talking about on the forums possibly doing something where we do either a schoolyard thing or by time zones or something, and get a couple leaders and pick teams and have the teams each time, so you're not having to do this random thing, and you can actually learn playing with those 10, 12 people and get better that way. Learn tactics together and learn how to communicate together, get comfortable with that. And I think it would make all the teams better. And we have enough people probably to make 3-4 teams depending on the size of the tournament.
Yeah, that's a good point because what we did was we hit random. Everyone goes in. Only 24 people can play at once, but we had a lot more than 24 in the clan waiting outside in a chat room. So this, by the way, this is all planned for Monday nights, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time.
PM,
GMT -6.
Right, 10 p.m. Also, we have and that's for the U.S. clan. And we also have an EU clan meeting every Monday night at it's
22
GMT, which is
yeah, don't even try. Just 22 GMT.
yeah. You can figure out the rest. And so that's basically our clan night. Everyone can show up, and what we need to do is we need to take turns because not everyone can play. And we set the servers up to private, so there is a password just for that, 2 hours of gameplay.
Which is another thing we're going to have to fix because the giving the password out in the chat channel is not the best method.
Then it's a race to see who can type it the quickest.
Well, not only that, but people who have no intentions playing in the clan are like in going, well, I saw the password. I don't care. It says it's clan team only.
Yeah, and the password was like heavily letified, so it was difficult to type. So,
if we get 4 fielded teams, we'll have a better chance of doing well in the tournaments if we have as many teams as possible.
Yeah.
And here, control point team number 1. And here, control point number B. And over here, we have control point epsilon. And I'm running out of demarcations.
Rasputin's mutants.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sweet.
So
Nico's hundreds of pirates.
Nico doesn't want to play in the clan. He was one of the... She was one of the ones who hopped on and then hopped out after she learned it was clan match.
Huh.
yeah.
She doesn't think she's good enough, which I don't know. I don't really agree with, but...
That would be,
Okay.
that's let's see, we have 2 other girls. Okay, there's a big topic in the forums that I started because I'm trying to get some discussion here.
Some numbers, some digits.
Some digits. I'm trying to find out, basically, if you are a girl playing TF2, do you get harassed? Also, do you want people to know that you're a female? Are you hiding? Are you lying and saying you're a male? Or are you afraid to use your microphone kind of thing? There's a lot of cool discussion going on in the forum. We'll probably have a little segment about that once we kind of do some more investigation work.
Dun, 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 dun.
So
That's my song.
It's my song now.
but anyway, that's enough of me talking. Brent. How'd your week go?
It was another week in Team Fortress.
Really?
We did have the clan match, our clan night last night, or was it the night before? Yeah, last night. And it was good. There was definitely some things we can change to make it a little more cohesive. I know I was kind of the leader at first on our team, but I'm not really good at that on the clan match stuff, so I will definitely get someone else to do that. What?
Or good at it at all.
Exactly. So we'll see what we can do with that. With the European clan, they actually got to break in the new European server we started, which you can get to off the front of our website.
Yeah. And I was actually going to mention, we've got our game servers tracking going on, and our U.S. server is like 119th ranked, like out and 93rd percentile. And so it's always busy, and everyone knows that because no one can ever connect. Man, EU, you're like 1,373rd, 14th percentile. You need to get on it.
And I'm sure it'll catch up. I plan to play on that one a little more.
I've never tried it. You tried it? What's your ping like?
I haven't tried it yet, but from the thread, it seemed like people over here were getting anywhere from a good low ping to 100 and higher. So I think it's playable, and I think it would be good for people to get on there, even if they're not.
Well, I kind of figured our ping would be somewhere in the range of...
I'm not singing it. No.
Nope.
Oh, man, I was all ready.
Yeah.
We did it last week. Come on.
100 ping. Okay. Anyway, moving along.
Oh, man. Now I've lost my train of...
You're talking about the EU server?
That's your rail car.
Yes, EU server. Which we also start something instead of a donations link, we have a clan pay link, which is basically a link straight to gameservers.com. Where you can actually pay straight there. So we don't get any of that money. It just goes to server costs. And we've gotten a few people who have already donated. So that's really cool.
Thank you. Thank you
that
very
will
much.
help out because it isn't so cheap. But
Thank you very much.
I also have been working on some more stuff with the BeetlesMod on the server to make it easier for the mods. I know we've had times where mods have accidentally pasted the password into general chat.
Yeah, that was really funny.
And other commands. and with this, we just get the Steam ID, put it in a config file, and they're automatically admin when they log in. And they have those commands in a little menu.
Can you explain very quickly what BeetlesMod is? I don't really understand what all it can do.
Basically, it's an admin system for the game. It does a lot of things with configuring the whole thing with sudden death when it goes to certain classes. It does all that. It does. You can have custom sprays everywhere. You can set up reserve slots. You can make it where only a certain amount of classes can play at the same time. Like where we only want 2 snipers, things like that.
So it basically just adds a lot more functionality to the admin system.
Exactly.
Or does it just simplify the functionality that's already
It
there?
does both. It does both because then it also has a menu in there where you can do all the banning and kicking and
is that working
make
now?
people
Because I've
farting.
tried to use that before. And not to ban anyone in particular. That
It is working, but I've got to get your Steam ID to put in the file.
Okay.
I've got Wes's should work, so just try typing in at menu.
Okay.
I don't know if I have yours and the other mod. Anyway,
What is
we
it,
don't
just
need to
menu?
talk about that. You can do it in general chat, or you can do it in console.
Yeah.
Either one.
Okay.
Is there
And it will give you an admin menu.
Make sure that you're opening the console and not voice chatting.
Okay. Because menu's the password and all.
Yeah.
We've gotten some complaints on the server how someone will change the map and other people are disrupted by that. Is there any way to queue up a map and say, I want this map to be next?
Yes,
Oh, good.
it's in the admin for BeetlesMod now. You can say play after this map.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And it's
That's
really
great.
cool because you hit that, and then it gives you a menu of maps, so you can actually see all the maps instead of having to change level.
Oh, I love
and you just
it.
hit
That's so
next,
cool.
next, because it's in reverse alphabetical order. Don't ask me why.
That's
But,
Actually, I had an issue that I'll get to later, I guess, with my laptop. But anyway, go on.
okay, so that's, I guess, enough about the server. I also
It was arbitrary.
play Toy Fort. So if
Toy Fort.
if anybody else has played Toy Fort,
I played Toy Fort for the first time.
it was. I think it definitely suffered from game design. But
I thought it was terrible.
But
What?
I
really
love
did.
it.
graphically, I think it's awesome.
You've only played it with like 5 people in it.
No, I'm talking about. I thought graphically, I thought it was poor. I thought it was uninteresting design. I'm not trying to like piss anyone off here. I'm just saying the graphic design did not do anything for me.
Is this Toy Fort?
Toy Fort? Yeah. I thought,
With the
look.
big building blocks in the bed and the
yeah,
And the dinosaur?
And the Tinker Toys.
And the alien ships?
And the big doors.
didn't do it for me.
And the tunnels. And the little
And the
mouse
Mr.
holes.
Potato Head?
And the obscenely high places you can snipe from.
And the
You can-
Volkswagen that drives across?
You're making stuff up now.
And the naked
No, I've been
lady on
making
the
up stuff
bed.
the whole time.
all of this stuff sucked. No, but I it didn't click with me, and honestly, I played it and was like, man, what's all the fuss about? 'Cause
You know what we need to do? If we can set it so that we can
24/7
set
Toy Fort, you
well, we
got
can.
it.
I would love to reskin everybody in Green Army Man skins and do it that way.
that'd be neat.
That would be
Yeah.
kinda
Yeah,
funny.
because those Army Men games were great.
Oh, I remember those.
I never played them.
You didn't?
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, they were pretty.
Anyway, anything else with your day, Brent?
No.
Week?
Done. How about
Done.
you? How was your
Okay,
week?
my week. Well, I have continued being too busy to play for the most part. Let's see. What did I do with my list of things? It's very, very brief. I did get a new laptop that I can sort of play TF2 on. Not fantastically. I know if you've seen me hop on occasionally and then hop off real quick, it's because I was trying to get my laptop to work. And it's a really nice laptop, and I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And then the second thing is, this is kind of big news. I'm moving away from Huntsville.
So basically, he got married, and then his wife is whisking him away from all of his friends to go live in some other state with a bunch of other people that he doesn't even know. Oh my God.
You know, I
I'm a little
can't.
scared right now.
I can't refute any of that, except for the whisking me away part. I don't think she's whisking me because she doesn't actually own a whisk.
And you'll be like right next to the beach.
Yeah, I'm gonna live just south of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and cool. I'm gonna live 2 blocks from the beach, which is gonna be really cool. So we're gonna have to change the way that we do the podcast. Where I'm gonna have to find some sort of VoIP solution that lets me come in and still do the podcast. So anyway, the whole moving thing has made me really busy and too busy to play. Now, when I did sit down to actually play, I came across something that there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing. But it's frustrating nonetheless that when I want to play, I have to wait for 20 minutes to get into the server. And in fact, that happened last night. I hopped on and Brent and Eric were playing, and I hopped on and I waited for 20 minutes and I complained to Eric and I said, man, our server's always so busy. I have to wait like 20 minutes to play. He just, I don't remember what you said back, like, man, that is whack or something like that.
That sounds like Eric.
Yeah. And then after I got on, I played for 5 minutes and someone said, hey, Spitzer still plays TF2. And I was like, yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. Then 5 minutes after I played, my computer crashed. And I was like, I don't want to wait another 20 minutes to get into a game. So,
well, now we got a backup plan with the EU server.
Do you use auto join?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've never really had that long or.
No, I had it today. I had it yesterday. I had that long.
It's been getting worse.
Yeah. And I'm, it's a good thing and a bad thing because I'm glad our server is so popular, but I kind of want to play on it.
You failed. Prepare for sudden death.
I think a secondary, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to get on the Control Point server, and if that's full, I'm going to head over to the EU server. And unless there's some significant play difficulties,
I don't know if I want to play with those EU people.
They smell funny.
And they use funny money.
Funny money.
And they go on holiday.
And they get it for like a month every year.
So you're just jealous, really.
Socialists.
No, there is one thing with the auto join. I don't know if you've had this problem, but if you can auto join one game and then go play another one.
I know.
But
I don't want to play
so far, both Prodigal and I have had the same issue where when you get to the next game, you'll get disconnected and have some weird error. And it's only happened when we've done that. So I don't know if if it really works or not.
I don't know. I've actually had it work before, but I don't want to play with some other people. I want to play with our people. I like our people.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is one good thing.
Except for
there is a lot of our people, and they're not always on our server.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned something about my laptop earlier, and I'd get to it later. What's the command to pull up all of the maps on the server is just map star, right?
Doesn't work right, though.
Use BeetlesMod.
Yeah.
Okay, because it just pulled up all of the maps on my computer, which on my laptop were all of the default maps. So
we have a page on the website. I
can't find it. Where is it?
It's on the middle column.
I looked. I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, when I was actually trying to change the map, I was asking people, "Hey, what's the name of that one map with the thing?" And actually, I was playing with Wes, and that's when I played Toy Fort. Was like, "What's the name of that map?" I have to tell me exactly. So
it's pretty bad when when our non-mod CP members are telling us what the exact names of the maps are.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
So yeah, that was my week.
Cool.
Week.
Do we have a new meme now?
Week.
No, that's Eric's motto for life.
So let's see. On the loudspeaker, news and discussions.
Well, you've already talked about that.
Sorry. We had donations. Do we have the people's names?
We are thinking about making a donation page.
Like a thank you?
Yeah, and just kind of listing people's names
on
there.
Can we do it like public radio and have like gold, silver, and bronze level subscribers?
We could do that.
Yeah.
Well, we were also, that was one of the threads we were talking about on the forums about having a third server that had reserve slots for people who donated a certain amount, like $3 a month or a certain amount a year.
Huh.
And then they would have a slot where when they logged in, it would boot the last person that logged in and they would get on.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Wow, that sounds like a recipe for really ticking people off.
Well, that's why it would be a third server that was, that was expressly for that, and people could always go to the other servers that were now freed up by the other people, and they can always donate if they wanted to get on there, right?
Yeah, and it's
Is that wrong?
It's well worth it too for and I'm not trying to sell anything here because we're not making this money. We're talking about money going straight to the servers, and the fact that a lot of people expect trash mouth 12-year-old kids yelling and stuff, and this whole community, everyone who listens to this show and gets on the forums and talks to us, people that get onto the server and talk and have fun and stuff. It's really, really a good experience. So
yeah, and we have some kids that have joined the community, and so far they've all been very well behaved, at least in my presence. So,
and to go back to the girls of TF2, all of the girls are saying that this is the one server that they can actually use their microphone. People won't harass them, and they feel comfortable. So,
good.
Man, we're
And
great
I've only seen a
models.
couple of inappropriate sprays.
yeah, and we get those off.
And now there's another thing with BeetlesMod. You can come up to the spray, press a button, it tells you who it is. You can delete that spray and then kick them.
Awesome.
Or you can ban them from putting sprays on your server.
That's cool.
I asked nicely. I sent
Well,
people
yeah,
messages
you always
and I
ask
go,
nicely first.
hey, we're trying to be G-rated. Could you do me a favor and not use that spray on our server?
I don't like the cat waving that in my face. I'll leave that to your own.
Gross. Anyway, so our community rocks, and we can't say that enough. This week, reconnaissance. Hey, like we said earlier, we're out of class.
We have no more dossier.
No more
This
dossiers.
is reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah. Dun.
So
dun,
this week-
Dun 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 dun
Two,
dun,
Fort,
dun,
four.
Dun,
Two, four.
Two Fort. Yay! Everyone's favorite map 11 years ago.
It was my favorite when we first started. When we first started
It's still a good map.
The whipping post of Team Fortress maps.
and I was the first one to go, I hate this map and I never want to play it again. But I've gone full circle.
I'm
back to where I
not
like it.
back there yet. I'm still on the 2 Fort again.
And it's a beautiful looking map if you just stop and look around.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't get to play it as much as I would like, I think, until then I play it for 10 hours and it's stalemated, and then I, go on to another map for another week, and then I think, man, I missed 2 Fort, and then I go back, and it's just nostalgic. I like going.
I don't
back
ever
over
miss
that.
it. I don't think that's part of my function. I don't
I have
think I do
dreams.
that.
You dream about 2 Fort?
2 Fort, yes, and the sniper deck.
2 Fort ton. Oh, sorry.
Okay, anyway, so this is sort of new. We haven't really done a map discussion before. We're going to try and do it in the same format that we did the class discussions. So, Wes, you have a general description of the map for
2
us?
Fort carries
Okay.
a shotgun. Oh, wait.
You know what the best thing to do when you're playing 2 Fort is? Double jump.
I heard that 2 Fort itself can double jump. Isn't that right? Isn't that true?
I like it when 2 Fort masks as another map.
It's a paradox.
Okay, 2 Fort. The basic idea is there are 2 mirror image forts that are opposed to each other, separated by a moat. There is a covered bridge crossing from one side of the moat to the other that leads from base to base, creating a nice bottleneck for everyone who doesn't have the ability to fly through the air. Additionally, there are 3 entrances.
Like demo men who just soar.
Well, they can. They can make it all the way across that map in a sticky jump.
Moving right along.
There are 3 entrances to each fort. The first one on the bottom is from actually in the water in the moat, and it takes you into the sewers underneath the fort. The second one is actually 2 doors, which are right on the front, and they're side by side. And then the third entrance is up on the deck above the other entrances, commonly called the sniper deck, and that gets you to the second floor. And you can get up there if you're a scout or a soldier or a demo man or having been flung across the map by any of those classes.
Now, would you consider the grade an entrance, or it's already covered by the front door?
Front door. Yes.
Yeah, you have to go in the front door to get in the grade.
Yeah, but it's still, you're kind of getting into a completely separate area but
Okay.
we'll get onto that later.
Yeah.
Well, you can use the grate to go from floor 1 to floor 2. So I think we should talk about the ramp room being a special entrance too, because you can use that to get from floor. I'm being a smartass.
Yes, you are. Because you don't need anything
You should use the
special
elevator.
to get from floor 1 to floor 2 in any other area.
You should use the elevator.
Okay. The goal of 2 Fort is to capture the opposing team's intelligence. Pretty much everyone who's done the map knows how this works. You go to the intelligence room, you capture it. There are 2 ways to get out of the intelligence room area. One is commonly called the spiral staircase, and it spirals up through the middle of the fort up to the 2nd floor right near the respawn room. The other way is often called the back stairs. Has anyone else heard any other names for it? It used to be the elevator.
elevator
It used to be
shaft.
the elevator shaft, yeah, but now it's I don't know what to call it now, honestly.
Back
The
stairs.
back ramp, back stairs.
Back stairs is usually what I hear. And that goes straight out to what used to be the ramp room. Some people call it the courtyard now. I'm going to stick with ramp room.
Ramp room. It's
We
the
like
ramp
ramp
room.
room.
Don't call it the courtyard. That's not where the smokers go when they need a break from work.
I don't know. I see a lot of smoking corpses in there.
Oh,
Heyo.
carcinogenic.
And just like every other capture the flag map, if you're killed while you're carrying the intelligence falls on the ground and you have to defend it. I don't know. Anyone else got anything to add on basic layout?
Sewers. Did you talk about the sewers
Okay.
at all? We got sewers.
You go into the sewers from underneath the water, or from the water underneath the covered bridge. There is an L-shaped section of sewers with a small staging area there with a health pack and some ammunition.
Typically, you can find me there yelling at people.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a big place. A lot of stuff happens there. Actually, I do find that in general, the sewers are generally not used except by spies and pyros unless there is some kind of a stalemate going on around the bridge.
I'm not sure I agree with that. At least, I mean, I very rarely play spies. Well, very rarely, like never. And I don't play pyros particularly frequently. But I like the sewers.
LPC.
Engineers. I think engineers, that's a big place for engineers to go.
Engineers. I mean, it's a
Get
really
that
good place
teleporter
for
up
engineers
there.
to try and put up a teleporter in the enemy fort. I like to go down there as a soldier just to mess with people, or as a heavy. I mean, or as anything.
Really? Because
Yeah.
that's such a long path. I would think that going that way as a heavy would be a big waste of time.
No, because you can get over there. You don't have to worry about being sniped. I mean, that's the big benefit to the
That's true.
sewers. And in fact, speaking of sniping, in previous versions of 2 Fort and say the original Team Fortress or Team Fortress Classic, the covered bridge was not covered. It was also much longer, much wider space between the 2 forts. As a result, snipers were far, far more of an issue than they are now. Do you agree with that, Brent?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And there
Yes,
was a
I
lot
agree.
of sewer traffic back then, too. It caused a lot of people to go down because of the
And,
snipers.
and it was a lot shorter, the sewers back then.
Yes.
And that
Yeah,
map
the
still
elbow.
exists today.
So do we got a name for that downstairs?
Downstairs?
In the sewers? The elbow? What are we going to call
The
it?
elbow.
I think they're called
Sewers?
sewers. Yeah.
And
I mean,
sewers just is
Your
it's
team
pretty-
and the other team's sewers. That's all there is to it.
I'm going to start promoting the elbow.
You can
There's
do
going to be
all
the
you want.
There's going to be the EE,
Weak.
What is EE?
enemy elbow.
Oh,
I
yikes.
thought you'd like that. You love the acronyms.
Oh my god.
You know, NPC and LPC actually caught on.
You know what? They did not.
They
They
Don't
did.
lie.
No,
They
really.
didn't catch
They did.
on
They
at all.
caught on as much as GameServers.com.
You know what? The first comment about last week's podcast, I don't remember who it was, but it was someone who said, "Man, acronyms suck." I was like, "Yes, they do."
And then they promptly started a thread.
Yeah.
But that came out in the patch is now they're going to have the NPC on your page.
Oh, yeah. Because
And
Valve,
LPC.
Valve's going
Lies.
to catch on.
Sweet.
Lies, dirty lies.
There was a patch. We forgot to talk about it. But anyway,
You know
we're
what we
talking
need
about
to
2
do?
Fort.
You know what we need to
that's
do? We need to trademark LPC and NPC.
Yeah,
know
you
what?
know me.
trademark.
Yeah, we could get some.
You know what?
royalties off
Fat
it.
ducats.
I hereby. I was only going to make one New Year's resolution, But my New Year's resolution is I will never, ever use those phrases. Ever. Not a single time at all. Period. The end. No,
I'm happy,
don't like try and convince me.
A part of your New Year's resolution. I'm honored.
I hate you.
To contribute.
Okay.
Getting back.
Further to fort definition. So we've got the spiral stairs. We've got the back stairs. We've got the ramp room. Some people call it the courtyard.
Right.
There is the intelligence
the back
room.
Stairs they're calling the L shaft here.
Yes, I don't agree with that. Additionally, no, this is the best
elevator
part.
shaft.
This is
So
the
it's
best
short
part.
for
Where to go?
elevator shaft.
The
I
area
like it.
in front, the hay room, what people call the hay room, because all that hay's laying around. They call on the 2 Fort Wiki, they call it the upstairs lobby.
Well,
Is this a hotel? Hotel Blue.
is
Hotel Red.
there hay on the blue side? I thought there was only hay on the red side.
Now, the two teams are pretty much always set up kind of the same textures, where one of them's kind of a farm and one of them's more of a
Industrial.
Corporate industrial type thing.
yeah.
Well,
so the other side's not going to have.
I've heard
hay.
it. I've heard it called in front of our spawn.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
what
of
most
times.
people call it. I'm in front of our spawn, and then some guy always says, "Which spawn?" And,
I mean, isn't it really just upstairs?
I usually say outside respawn.
Yeah. I mean, that's you don't respawn downstairs anymore, so it is technically the only well, no, there's one other respawn.
Yep. That would be one.
Anyway, just when you're calling out places, make sure it's one that people can understand. Don't say I'm in the room
Or I'm in the EE.
Don't
Seriously.
say I'm in the
Don't say that.
Don't
I'll
say
kick you from the server from now on.
There is only one other location that deserves any mention, and that is it's called the Grate, and that is they're off to one side of the upstairs lobby. There is a dead end room that has a grate on the floor with a hole in it. Great place for demo men and soldiers and stuff to hang out and torture the people who come in the front door.
Yeah, it's also great for soldiers and demo men who are coming in the front door to get a shortcut up to the second level. A lot of times people, for some reason, ignore that entrance. I think it's just because it's, not many classes can actually take advantage of it. But
well, and you can get through that area so fast. Even if someone puts up a sentry, like in the respawn area, you get through that area so fast that it's a good place to get by.
I mean, you can get up there and immediately you can mess with the enemy in a lot of ways. You can mess with them in the ramp room. You can, if they've got snipers out on the sniper deck, you can mess with them there. Or you've got a straight shot down the spiral staircase.
My only problem with rocket jumping and sticky jumping into that area, number one,
is you're not good at it.
Well, that's one. And if you would have let me finish number one, I would have said that the hole is very small, and I find it very difficult to jump up in there.
Do you have any problems with it, Brent?
Not at all.
No, me neither.
I mean, the medic behind me, when he sees me hit my head about 3 or 4 times, he might think I have problems, but, that's why you have a medic.
The second reason that I don't use it as much as I should is because I think when you're actually in the opposing base, you're doing things that won't lose you health. Because once you're over there, there's no pickups. You're stuck the way you are unless the medic's around. And rather than bruise my head a few times trying to get up there and end up with 10% health, I'll just go ahead and.
Well, that's because you're terrible at it. When I go in there as a soldier, and I can't do it with the demo man because I just don't practice enough. But when I go in there as a soldier, I can hit that hole every time with a rocket jump, and I do lose some health, yes, but a lot of times it's preferable to lose a little health than to come around the corner with a sentry, where there's always a sentry or a heavy just waiting for you or a pyro waiting, and you lose some health, but you.
I'm more afraid of the ceiling than a pyro.
Wow, that should be your signature in the forum.
What do you think, Eric?
I play pyro and NG. I never use that whole. I could care less about the grate. And a spy, I don't use it to get down, but I never have an issue with having to get up in there. So,
and talking about that, it's kind of funny. I actually don't see that many people taking advantage of that, coming to the top of the spiral and going out that way. Usually, people will run out onto the battlements for some reason and run.
You know what? I do that. And I've been trying to figure out why I do that. But if I'm given the choice to go out on the battlements or the sniper deck or whatever you want to call it, or go down the grate, I almost always go out on the battlements to get my headshot off, and I don't understand what is wrong with me. It's like it's some compulsion that drives me. Ooh, battlements.
It's karma because you're good at getting through the hole.
One way though. Wow. You have a problem getting down it for some reason.
I don't know. I'm just always afraid that I'm going to drop down that hole and there's going to be like 9 pyros standing there waiting to. And I am not more afraid of the ceiling.
Yeah, but recovering the intelligence that's dropped below the grade is much easier than recovering intelligence on the battlements
or sniper deck.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about when you.
Like if you were to get your headshot off.
Oh, you're talking about that. Okay. When I was talking about like when I spawn.
Oh.
It's almost the first thing I do is if I'm in that secondary spawn room, I'll go out across the.
I'm talking about people with the intelligence coming out of the spiral.
Well, that's an entirely different thing. And what I have to say about that is depending on what kind of class I am. If I'm playing a scout, I'll go out on the battlements every single time. Absolutely.
Bridge.
Not even the bridge. I mean, get on the covered bridge. And you've got immediate cover from your team snipers, and you can get to your capture point much faster that way. Now, if I'm playing, like one time I was playing a heavy that somehow managed to bully my way down into their room and grab the intelligence, I did not go out on the battlements. I was like, I'm going to go down in the sewers. It's the only way. Yeah. It's the long way, but I don't stand a chance any other way. So.
See, I will never take intelligence through the sewers because it is so easy to defend. Once it hits the ground in there, it is really easy to defend.
It's easy to defend everywhere.
I totally disagree with you.
Well, you can be wrong all you want.
But the 10 years people play those stalemates in Team Fortress might disagree.
Yeah.
To give players interesting navigation decisions, routes through a map should vary in effectiveness based on the player's current class and the state of the map. Water lets us increase the cost of taking a particular route because swimming is slower than running. Spies often accept that cost in order to infiltrate undetected. Pyros avoid it because their primary weapon is useless underwater. If the enemy has a strong defense, the increased cost of the water route becomes a worthwhile trade-off for any class trying to hit the defenders from behind.
Okay, so let's move on, and what we'll do here is we're going to cover each of the individual classes and some general ideas behind playing those classes, and we'll probably start with Scout, and that means Brent, you get to talk.
Why do I get to talk about Scout?
Because you're a bunny rabbit.
I'm not a bunny rabbit. Scout's like my third or fourth played class, I think.
So you hate it now?
I don't hate it. It's just I like being a soldier much more.
I'm the same way because Scout was previously like my second most played class, and now it's down to like
NPC.
4. And God, I'm going to...
NPC.
Trying so hard not to cuss right now. But I don't know. It just feels like work to play the Scout sometimes.
Yeah, it's aggravating.
Yeah. Because you're going to die a lot, and you're not going to get a very high score.
And you're sitting there, someone get the sentry, and if you get the sentry, I can get the briefcase.
Dude,
okay,
drop
I'm
the
gonna go play
intelligence.
soldier and get...
Drop the intelligence. I'm faster. Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Heal me. Why don't you heal me?
Boink.
Yeah, so anyway... Do you want to talk about the Scout? Go ahead, talk about the Scout.
Your Scout is the flag or the briefcase runner in this map. It could also be used a little bit on defense, but I'll talk about offense. You'll probably be using your double jump a lot to get onto the bridge and off the bridge onto the sniper deck. Now, what's the best way to do that is jump off the bridge at an angle and then use your second jump to jump straight forward onto the sniper deck. You'll get on there much easier.
Yep.
Then you will try to head down, depending on where the defense is, either the spiral or the elevator shaft. Either one.
What? The L shaft. The back staircase.
Now, if they have sentries up everywhere, you're not going to be able to do any of this, and then you will switch to soldier. But let's just pretend there's no sentries up at the moment, and you will run down the spiral. And yeah, that's a good tip. Wait for someone to do something with the sentries. You don't have to run in and get chewed up by the sentries. Try to shoot the engineer while you're waiting for someone to come up and help blow the rest of it up. Anyway, you get the briefcase, and there's usually going to be a sentry in there. So, listen before you run in. And then you get it and you run out.
Listen for that little beep, 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 beep.
That's going down there a lot. And
as soon as you see a teleporter, just blow it up immediately. Every time.
Extra points.
So, is that good for Scout?
The only other tip I can think of for a scout is if you do have to go through the ramp room, try to use your double jumps to not have to actually run up the ramp. You can use your double jumps to get on there and then just jump into the hole and keep going down the backside.
Cool. If you guys hear that in the background, we've got like a serious storm going on here.
Yeah, we're supposed to have snow Sunday.
Really?
Anyway. It was like 80 degrees today.
It was. We got 30% chance.
So it was 20 degrees last week, 80 degrees today, and it's going to be 20 degrees again next week.
Sweet. Yeah. Hey, Demo Man.
Okay.
Demo.
Actually, Demo Man strategies are actually really varied. There's lots of stuff you can do. If you're going to go on defense, one good way to do it is a really cheapy spot that you can hang out is right over the grate. What I'll do a lot of times is I'll cover the wall and the floor of the entrance, the front door entrance area, so that as soon as somebody comes in, I just blow it up. If you see scouts, you need to be twitchy, or you need to spread your stickies out a little more so that you get them. But you can get a lot of really cheap kills there, and plus you're doing a really
you cheap guy.
I know. Well, you know. The other obvious answer is a lot of times the first thing I'll do is I'll run down to the flag room, especially if you're just starting a match and the NG hasn't had time to set up any turrets. You're going to be the one that's going to defend the flag from the scout. So you want to get down there quick, you want to lay down some stickies, and you want to wait until the NG can get some turrets built, because otherwise that scout's going to run in for that first grab and try to get out as fast as he can. But then after, I've got some stickies in place in the intelligence room, I'll run forward and I'll either position myself. Now, if I'm doing stickies in the flag room, I'll go downstairs from the grate and I'll actually hang out in the hallway down there, because I feel like the odds of me dying, without having stickies around, the odds of me dying are better. So I need to be mobile. So I'll hang out on that bottom area and I'll kind of keep the area full. And also it'll give me the periphery of watching the sewer exit, so that if I start seeing anybody peeking their head up from over there, I'm going to go and just unload a bunch of pipe bombs down, or a bunch of grenades down into the stairwell. Because the Demo Man is very good at defending the sewer entrance.
Yeah, it does have sort of a chilling effect on attackers coming in that area, because no one wants to get blown up, because then you have to hike all the way back through the sewers again. So.
Right. When you go on attack, there's a couple of things. Well, one thing I saw Monarch doing a great job of protecting the bridge area from the other side. And what he did was he sticky jumped onto the top of the covered bridge, and then he stood on their end and kept their sniper deck covered with stickies, so that if a sniper or a soldier or anybody even stuck their head out, they got blown up.
Yeah, that's really annoying. I'm serious. I hate that tactic. I mean, it's very effective, but anything that completely locks down one of the entrances and exits just really always annoys me. So
well, it's just like a sentry
outside the front. Yes, it is just like a sentry, and I hate that too.
I hate that too. Yeah.
Well, I hate that more though. Actually,
see, I think taking a person and having them lock down one of the entrances essentially removes them from the game. If you're flexible enough to use the other entrances,
it removes them from the game, but it removes half of your strategic options. I mean,
it's very good. It's a good play. I mean, it is a good strategy.
I will say that killing that guy is always really satisfying. So,
and I lost my train of thought.
Okay,
it went away.
Pyro.
Pyro is all about the sewers, getting down and dirty in the sewers.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the entrance?
The front door entrance.
Yeah, there's a lot of good places to.
There's a lot of sentries around too. You want to rethink this before you start? No,
this is how I play the Pyro. The sewer is a great place to go because, well, obviously it's very close quarters, and anything passing by you, especially any spies or anything, they either bump into you because they're a spy and you can't walk through a spy. An enemy spy, or you just spy check down there, take out sentries, do whatever you got to do. And when you sneak up through the sewer, through that stair room. What is it called? You know what I'm talking about?
The sewer exit.
Sewer exit, yeah. I usually kind of make my way towards the front door, or I'll go on that tiny little hallway on the left side where
the L hallway.
Yeah, where basically when you spawn, you can jump down through a hole and then you're on the first floor.
With the pyro sitting there.
Yeah, with a pyro sitting there, and then you kill him. Yeah, so those are some fun little easy kill spots. I don't ever go for the flag. I mean, as a pyro, I mean, I might, but not in a serious game.
Yeah, but if the opportunity presents itself, you got to take it, right?
Oh yeah. If it's laying around, or if there's if there's a heavy medic running for the flag or anything, if I see someone, I'll pair up and I'll jump in there and I'll become their little bodyguard. You know, so basically any kind of closed off area, or any little area off the beaten track is, you know, really good for a pyro, I think.
Just like on any map?
Yeah, just like on any map, yeah.
Okay. I'll do the heavy, I guess, since apparently that's my class of choice, according to some people. Okay, the heavy, I think I'm going to disagree with the way a lot of people play heavy on this map. A lot of people tend to think of the heavy as the frontline offensive character for like taking the bridge and stuff like that. And I absolutely hate going out on the bridge with the heavy because you're a sitting duck. Soldiers can take you out in no time flat. Demo men can take you out in no time flat. Snipers can take you out in no time flat. I generally almost always play the heavy defensively, like in the entrance area, waiting for people to come in there, or occasionally down in the sewers. The only time I ever push forward with the heavy is if I have a medic with me, and I always go through the sewers. And Wes and I were talking about this earlier. He says, well, doesn't it take a long time? Yes, it takes a long time, but I'd rather take a long time to get there than to not get there at all. And it's just too easy to die.
Getting your head blown off on the bridge just sucks, period.
And not only that, but I mean, the entrance is almost always well defended with sentries or pyros, etc. And most people don't pay as much attention to the sewers until it's clear that there's an offensive push there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all I got to say about the heavy.
Cool. We got the engineer. Do we need to talk about the engineer?
Yeah, why don't you do?
I'll talk about engineer.
Fine, Wes, do it. Fine.
The engineer is really, really important in 2 Fort. And the main reason is because if you don't have at least one engineer setting up somewhere, then scouts are just going to have a heyday. And they're just going to run in, grab the intelligence, get out. And you can try to defend all day long, but it's going to take you more people to defend than you want to spare on your offense. So anytime you're playing in a 2 Fort game and there's not at least one engineer, I recommend changing.
Or get someone else to change.
Yes. Two's a good number. 3 is a great number. 4's too many.
Yeah.
4's, too many.
Of course, the obvious spaces you can set up are going to be in the intelligence room. A lot of people put their sentry right on top of the
briefcase.
On top of the briefcase,
Intel,
and that way, if a spy grabs the intel, if he comes to try to sap anything, he'll pick up the intel and change to a bad guy and get shot by the sentry before he can slap a sapper onto that thing.
Yeah.
A smart spy will sap it first and then grab the intel.
But the point is that if you place it right, a lot of times the
he
spy
can't get to it.
he can't get to it without hitting the intelligence first.
Gotcha.
I tend to like building in the opposite corner.
I do too.
Just because I think that it what you're going to be dealing with down in that room, defending against the incoming people, you're going to have the scouts are just going to get murdered. If a scout tries to defeat your fully upgraded sentry, he's going to get slaughtered. So you're going to be dealing with demo men and soldiers trying to come and take out your hardware. I don't like long ranges on those things. So if I know that there is a soldier going to be coming around the corner trying to take out my sentry gun, I would rather have that corner be closer to the gun than farther away, so that if they happen to pop in while my sentry is facing them, it'll take them out.
Yeah.
I don't like the desk setup. I don't like the back left area setup. I like it in that little tight little corner where it's facing the intelligence, and if anybody sticks their head in, there's a chance they're going to get shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other key engineering setup is the spot right in the doorway in between the respawn area and the ramp room. Because what that's going to do is it's going to cover people coming in from the sniper deck, and it's going to cover anyone who came in the front door and is trying to come up through the ramp room.
Yeah.
Now, my experience with that particular setup, and I know it's a popular one, is it seems to go down very quickly.
Oh, you can't walk away from it at all.
It's high traffic, I think, is because you're getting it from everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
But you'll get more kills there than in any other spot.
Even the entrance?
Yes, I have not had much luck with sentries in the entrance. They die too quick, and actually rebuilding them, because since you're building it right there by respawn, you can go and get your refill on your metal really, really quick, and you can have that thing rebuilt really fast. Getting a fully upgraded sentry in the entrance takes some time.
Yeah, you pretty much need a dispenser there.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people do it very effectively, and I've never actually managed to pull it off myself, but it seems like it is a good spot if you can manage it, just because it has another huge chilling effect on the team entering your base. But I can see your point.
But I found that building in the ramp room, you'll get too many scouts going just straight from the sniper deck to the spiral.
Right.
And building it, just in that room, you'll miss the ramp room. So it sort of gets a little bit of coverage on both sides, and if nothing better, it will delay people who are trying to rush into the base. So even if your sentry isn't going to kill them, it's going to slow them down, and by then people will be respawning from wherever they've been, and you're going to have some more people join your fight.
I have to say, I think that the primary goal of the engineer should be to frustrate enemy spies to the point that they stop playing spies. I'm sorry, not spies, scouts.
Yes.
And the reason is because once they've stopped playing scouts, I mean, the team's ability to capture your intel has just gone down, like, massively.
Yes. Yeah. As engineer, what I will do is I will build my little fortress of solitude, and I will man it, and I will man it for a while. And
you are my son, Kal-El.
If I don't see any action for a little while, my next goal is to try to get a forward teleporter up. The typical place to place a teleporter in the enemy base will be in the sewers, in the EE.
In the elbow.
Anyway, right there. And then, and a lot of times what I'll do, is I'll go even a little farther to that pool at the bottom of the sewer entrance.
That's my favorite spot.
And you can put it there right by the stairs and kind of under the water, and the glow gets diffused a little bit by the water.
Yeah.
And you actually get a semi-hidden
and then a heavy comes in and just scares the crap out of the enemy team. Like, I didn't see him come down the hole, and all of a sudden, heavy, he's shooting me in the face.
And a smart pyro who has been down in the sewers will just wait there for people to spawn.
Yeah.
I in general will try to get out of the sewers unless if there's multiple engineers playing and I know that there's good defense going on, I might try to make a forward setup in the sewers. It's very rare, though. I would much prefer to drop down my teleporter, go back home, and not let them know I was there.
Well, I got to say, in that 32-man no respawn timer, that when you had those constant two fronts on the bridge and a constant front in the sewers, engineers were just key.
Yes.
And they were a dime a dozen, too.
Yeah,
I mean, you probably had 6 on a team.
Yeah.
So it was like,
but having really, 2 forward teleporters in that sewer room was very, very valuable.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, who's next? Soldier? You want to do Soldier, Brent?
Sure.
Your enthusiasm is inspiring.
Well, it's because it's pretty much general tactics of a soldier, so there's not really much to say. Just remember a few things. Yeah. Do your jumps onto the sniper deck. You can clear out the snipers as you're coming in, and you're going to have less trouble getting rid of the sentries if they're up there usually. If you have a sentry in the corner, like where Wes likes it, just use the trick where you're pointing in and it doesn't even hit you, and blow it up that way if there's no engineer around.
Yeah.
Pointing in?
Yeah, using the right-handedness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so you'll come in that way. So that's a good way to make sure your gun is pointed that way a little more.
Right.
To help out with that a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, I found that with those oblique hits, I can usually keep it repaired.
I have found that they can often overwhelm me. But
Okay.
Yeah, well, the thing with those hits are if you're lining it up, you're not now having to try to go more for the floor and stuff when you get in.
you can shoot directly.
You don't have to aim as much. You're aiming already, and you're just like pow, 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 pow. 4 straight in there is hard to get done. But
Wes looks
in the
dubious.
Fortress of Solitude, and that helps.
You've got crystal armor.
There's Get Up the Grate. It's a great place to hold them back a little bit. You can stand on their grate and blow up people as they come out. It's also good to stand above your own grate, just like the Demo Man. You can also get on top of the bridge if you want to. And that's about it for the soldier that's any different from any other map, really.
Do you want to do spy?
I would like to make some soldier comments real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that soldiers are really good at basically while you're going across the bridge or anytime you're out in the open, you want to pepper the sniper deck with rockets.
Yeah.
Anything to harry the snipers up there to keep them from just having free reign to pick and choose who they want to kill.
That's only moderately effective. I mean, it does do the job of causing the snipers to move around a little bit, but the snipers can see the rockets coming a mile away, and a good sniper can pull off 2 shots before even dodging and be fine.
I still think it's important.
Okay.
I think, speaking of that, kind of another tactic is to help the engineer in the ramp room. Ramp room's really good for the soldier defense if you want to do some defense, not offense.
Because you know where people are going to run. They're going to run up the ramps, and you can aim ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, and you have such clear views everywhere. If you stand back, you can look right under the stairs where you're not in the path of any bullets and still get rockets around and stuff like that. So
yeah, the soldier's also really good out in the open on the bridge. They're one of the best classes out there. One place that I would not do a lot of soldiering is in the entrance. There's too many tight corners, too much chance for someone to get the drop on you.
Mm-hmm. They're really good at keeping some suppressing fire down in those long sewer tunnels.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can really hold some people back by making sure there's rockets coming down those hallways all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to do sniper. Just because I was thinking about a couple sniper things.
Okay.
First off, you'll never find me on the sniper deck playing a sniper because it's pretty much a sniper war, and I want to kill people.
1, 2,
That's
3,
your job.
Yeah, but I don't like that.
Your job is to kill other snipers.
I don't want to kill snipers. I want to kill other players. So
you want to kill people playing the game.
yeah, exactly.
So my favorite spot is right outside your window.
Yeah. So what I like to do, I mean, obviously the sniper deck, that's a valid place for snipers to take out enemy snipers. And also right in the front door, you can stand kind of in the shadow on the left side or the right side, and you can snipe out. You can also snipe opposing snipers on the deck or people trying to cross the bridge, although it's a very dangerous place to be. So and also someone can come around the corner kind of behind you and stab you or punch you or do anything, and you will not even know it until you die. So that's not a great place to be. Also, a cool place to be is in the elbow.
Oh.
A sniper can hang out in the elbow or the EE.
Yeah.
Right.
And they can totally decimate incoming forces.
Yep, because you have 2 long passageways, 2 long sewer tunnels. You can snipe people coming down from the stairs into this sewers or the other sewer. I mean, it's a great place.
Now you're really you got to worry about spies coming in and zapping your back. Don't
Yes.
Yeah, because since you're not walking around, you're not bumping into anything. So really,
But, I mean, the spy is the sniper's natural enemy anyway.
Right.
So yeah.
And if you do see one, you pull out that kukri.
Kukri. Also, another good place that I like to go is the entrance into the sewers, and the little stair room thing.
Yeah.
If you stand with your back up against the wall, you have a long, very long way into the base that you can snipe, and nothing can stab you or sneak up on you without going through the front of your scope. So you will see everything that's coming at you, except for a spy, of course. And if anyone tries to come up the stairs and kill you, you'll see them too. already in your scope with your limited vision. So that's an excellent spot, although it's not very high traffic, and if you have to be a pretty good sniper to kill because people are racing back and forth, but in that area that you're zoomed in on. So you have to be a really good one, but if you are, you'll get tons of points down there. So
one other good location is to cover the water area from one sewer to the opposite sewer, so that if people are coming out of the opposite sewer, you can get them, and then if they fall down into the water and start coming towards you, you can get them as well.
Mm-hmm. And there was a tip someone sent in about that too, of a sniper sitting in the water looking up. It's a pretty good spot.
Yeah. There's an area to one side where you can actually kind of get up onto a little mound of dirt, and you can hit the sniper deck from in the water.
Aren't you really open to demo men there?
I haven't played around with that.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen a lot, about demo men tooling around on their side of the bridge and just keeping an eye on the water.
On the ground, yeah. People would build sentries there.
I think that's a terrible
months ago.
idea.
Yeah, I don't see that.
You don't see it as much anymore. Yeah.
It's because demo men can just devastate them with impunity.
Yeah.
So, well, that's the word.
It's a good word.
Medics. Well, medics.
They're medics.
Play a medic is how you play the medic. You're good at healing other team members, just like you are on every other single map. So don't try and get fancy, Mister.
What about DPS medics that are spec DPS?
You're talking about shadow medics?
Yeah.
That's totally weak, and I'm not going to talk about that anymore.
That was funny.
Okay, and let's see. We got spy left. I guess that's
Spy.
Eric's territory.
Spy. Let's see. What do I do when I'm a spy? Oh, okay. One nice thing, of course, is to clear out the sniper decks and pretend like you're one of those really cheesy snipers that actually hang out on the sniper deck. And you have to stand in such a way that you will not get bumped into when people are exiting their spawn. And I'm talking about the secondary spawn, the little tiny room. When they leave that, they're going to try to walk right through you because you're standing there like a sniper. Well, I would suggest kind of standing close to the edge. And, of course, you're not zoomed in, so you have excellent vision. And when those people walk past you, trail them and stab them. That's a fun place to gather lots of points. Another place for a spy that is kind of nice is the intel room. Disguise yourself as an NG, walk around the basement. People, you always see NGs running around down there. Even if there's not a sentry, it's still not weird to see an NG just just walking around, So, what were you going to say, Wes?
Oh, I was just going to say that we covered a lot in our spy episode about how to take care of an engineer placement. And a lot of that stuff is still applicable here, because what you're going to be doing as a spy is you're going to get down into the enemy base, and then you're going to walk into the flag room and see a Fortress of Solitude. And it's going to be your goal to try to take that out without dying. And then if you can, you can grab the flag and or grab the intelligence and start working your way out. But
yeah.
It seems to me like spies have a very poor intel recovery rate, because once they have it, their defense is gone.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just me. Anyway, that's all the classes. I think, have we talked about our 2 Fort enough?
One other thing.
I guess not.
Wow.
I've got a couple things real quick. People probably don't use this as much as they should, but when someone has the intel, it makes a little wheelie thing, show you where it is. It's really easy on 2 Fort, not as easy as some other maps, to tell where they're going if you're upstairs. So if someone takes your intel, don't just run down one of the back stairwell or the spiral. Stand at your respawn and wait to see which way that arrow goes, because when they go to the spiral, you can tell exactly when they're going to come around that last corner. And as a soldier, I kill so many people coming up that spiral before they even know I'm there, just because the rocket's landing as soon as they turn the corner.
That's a good tip.
That is a good tip.
A lot of demo men will actually stand behind the barriers on the sniper deck and lob stickies or grenades onto the opposing sniper deck using gravity cleverly. Why are you laughing at that?
I'm clever at using gravity. And it's just funny. Sorry. I laugh at things that are funny. What are you going to do about it?
I don't know.
Nothing. You're going to do nothing.
You're full of hate and rage.
Yes. Go on. All right, is that it?
Anyway, that was it. That was my point.
Gravity. It's not just a good idea. It's the law.
And you can practice that shot, by the way. Some people gave on the forums gave some specifics on, aim for the window above this and blah, blah, blah. But you can practice it.
Ooh, there's another thing about the demos. While we're talking about the demos, and I think you just said it. Did y'all talk about the hole in the the hay room that you can shoot stickies down into?
No.
Okay, so we found this out one night because I was practicing, and we were just on our server before anybody used to play on our server.
When it was just us running around.
And you can shoot yourself, with like two. Well, good demos can do it with one sticky, but I had to use two. If you shoot yourself over towards their sniper deck, there's a place you can stand kind of above where they exit. Well, if you're there and you look, you can see a hole straight into the hayloft area. And so Prodigal was on there with me, and he ran in there, and I was shooting stickies straight into the room right there.
Wow.
So I assume you could do that from anywhere, that you wouldn't have to be there if you have aim to get it in there. So
hacks.
Might be an interesting thing
OMG
to try.
Hacks. Let's see. We also had
barbecue.
We did ask for 2 Fort tips from our listeners, and there's one that got repeated over and over and over and over again, and that's at the bottom of the stairs in the very start of the sewers before you go into the tunnel. You can crouch there to put out fire.
So if you're burning, I'm on fire.
and honestly, we got that tip from too many people to even count. So, but honestly, I didn't know it. So thank you.
Yeah.
If only you told us about the Source TV stuff, man.
Oh yeah. If you anyone else going to read any of these? We have a lot of these in the forum.
Yeah, and the thing with these was they were all really in depth and long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of hard to get. I think we covered a lot of them just by talking about it.
They're in the forums. We'll link to them as always. So,
and I think that's when we get things like that might be the best place for them.
Don't play 2 Fort. It seems like it would be fun, but once you get 11 hours into it in the first match, you realize the map sucks.
That was awesome. Thank you, Racing Freak 92. I like the funny tips.
Yeah. Did you see Mad Labs?
No, I didn't.
He has boycotted maps since New Year's.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a whole page on it, so we'll link to that.
Awesome.
So people can see his reasoning.
Oh, yeah, that's on ubercharge.net. Yeah, that gets a link. We'll link that.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think we've already gone.
Please, God, can we move on? Because we're not even near over yet.
Yeah, we're getting close. We got some listener contributions here.
Yeah.
Do we just want to do these in order here?
Let's see here. Yeah, sure. We got an MP3 sent to us from Ukama Vasi.
I think that's how he says it.
Yeah.
Mavasili?
Ukama Vasi.
Kukri.
And he's the guy who has someone down the street who has another name that's like Uka something.
Uka.
Yeah, and so
Ukama Vasi.
Here's what he sent in.
Hey guys, this is Ukami Vasi, bracket CP bracket. I'm a pyro-loving person, I guess. I don't know. Like Fire the Best and Diamond Man, along with a medic. I've been wondering one thing. Listen to your podcast, great thing. Really enjoyed, great thing to do with work. But I've been wondering about one thing. Okay, here's a scenario for you. There's a heavy, and he's got 2 medics on him. Which one of the medics gets the assist? And a second one I got is, you got a heavy, a medic healing the heavy, and a medic healing the medic. And does the medic all the way at the end of the line, does he get a kill assist, or no? Just curious. Alright, keep doing great work on the podcast. Love to listen to you guys. Love the community. And see you guys later. Bye.
Okay, that's a great question. In fact, I don't know the answer to this, but Spencer does.
Yeah.
And I'll just kind of repeat the question here. While 2 medics are healing a heavy, which medic gets the assist?
Okay,
You know this, Brent?
No, I was just laughing because he just said the question.
And then you said
repeated
it. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
No, you did. Anyway, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe that when two medics are healing a heavy, they both get the assist. Now, it doesn't say both of their names because the engine only supports to one assist at a time. Right. But it works the same way if there's 3 people damaging one other person and that person dies, all 3 people get the assist, even though it only lists 2 people.
Okay, so point-wise.
So point-wise, everyone still gets the assist. Now, I have no idea how it decides who to list up there. I believe that it may be alphabetical, or it may be by points, or it could be by any number of ways. But it doesn't really matter because everyone actually gets the points.
Okay.
Now, his second question, if you've got a medic healing a heavy, another medic healing that medic, then who gets the assist? And I'm not 100% sure on this one either, but I believe it's just the medic healing the heavy.
Right.
And if the medic that's being healed kills someone, then that other medic would get the assist.
Right.
That's my belief, at least.
Okay. That was a good question.
Thank you very much, Ukamavasi.
We got a good spy tip from Iron Wolf 220. This is actually a really good tip right here. I'll play it right now.
Hey, this is Iron Wolf 220, play on the Control Point server a bunch. Missed putting in this tip for the Spy Podcast, but when you first enter a server and you want to be a spy, as soon as you change it or turn into a spy, you need to look at who's being killed on the other team or how they're killing your teammates, because the weapon that's being used can show you what kind of class they are, so you're not disguising as a class they don't have. So I hope to see you guys in the server.
Okay, thank you very much, Iron Wolf 220.
That was a good tip. I didn't know about that. That was good stuff. This is, I guess, towards the end of the podcast here. But I wanted to mention that on the forums, Saturos has created a thread called the Official Unofficial DWP Spray Class. And basically what this is each class, he made sprays for each class. And they have funny little sayings on them, like real heavies don't have to find ammo and real sentries don't get sapped, things like that. It's really good. I did a good job on those. Check out that forum for those sprays. Actually, I'd like to get the sprays up on tf2sprays.com or something. Okay. And
that's all the listener contributions we've got?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This coming Friday, let's see, what is that? January the 11th. We are going to be at a LAN party here in Huntsville, Alabama. The LAN party, LAN party is hosted by Snapple, which stands for the Students Networked Against Packet Loss. They're at my old college, University of Alabama in Huntsville. It's going to be between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m., and it costs $5 a seat. If you want to hook up a computer, it's free otherwise. Don't expect a lot of our listeners will be able to make it, especially in such short notice, but we'll be there and playing some games, and we're going to be recording a podcast. And
no real agenda for that podcast, so don't expect anything purely focused on any one thing.
Yeah, right. So, and that's going to be like I said, at UAH, and we've got links up on the site and in the forums. So if you're interested, go take a look.
Cool.
Surveillance. This week we've got something kind of special. We've got a review. Now, what is the circumstances surrounding this review? Razer sent us a mouse. Is that correct?
Yes,
Brent?
Razer sent us a mouse to review, and we can do with it what we want.
Yeah, and we're probably going to give it away in a contest of some sort. But for the last week, I have been testing it out on my new laptop. The mouse is the Razer Proclick Mobile. It is a Bluetooth mouse, and as a result, I was the only person that could use it because mine is the only laptop with Bluetooth. It is a laptop mouse, which means it's small.
It's like Minnie Mouse.
Yeah, it is a Minnie Mouse. The one that they sent us is red. The mouse also comes in white, black, and pink for those of you that enjoy pink.
This one looks a lot like candy. Like I just want to...
Yeah, it is, and it's got a really nice rubber finish to it. And I've never used a Razer mouse. Have you? I know Brent likes them.
Oh, you're talking to Eric. I'm sorry.
Oh, I've never used one, but
yeah,
I see Brent's using one right now.
Does that have the same rubber finish on it?
Yeah, it's the one I have is really made for desktops, I guess, but it's got a rubber sidewall, and then the buttons are rubber.
Yeah,
so.
on the Proclick, the entire top of the mouse is sort of rubberized. It's a 3-button mouse with a scroll wheel, no navigational buttons on the side. It is Bluetooth, which means it wirelessly connects to any other Bluetooth device that includes laptops or PCs with Bluetooth, if you have that, or even I've seen pictures of people using it on their little pocket PC phones.
Really?
Yeah,
I might have to try that.
It's got on the back. It's got the Razer symbol that flashes when it connects to a Bluetooth device, so you know when it's connected. Now, overall, performance-wise, a mouse is a mouse is a mouse, as you know. It's not really my cup of tea. For one, it's one of those mice that is designed to be moved with your fingers instead of your whole hand. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like you steer with your fingertips. And if you like Razer mice, then you know what to expect. It's very sensitive. And it's a little too sensitive for me. I know Brent really likes that sensitivity. Also, go ahead.
While we're at that part, does it have, like, mine has a button on the bottom that you can click real fast to change the sensitivity?
It has no sensitivity level.
Okay.
The buttons on the bottom, there's an on-off switch, and there is a Bluetooth sync button. Now, there's a couple reasons why I would not make this my primary mouse. Personally, me, it doesn't have any navigation buttons. As we've covered in the past, like when I'm playing TF2, I like using my navigation button, my thumb button, as my voice comes, and I can't do that with this mouse. Also, Bluetooth just is kind of weird. Sometimes it refuses to connect to my computer, and I have to restart the computer. And that may very well be a fault with my computer. But on the other hand, it's a brand new computer, less than a week old, and I think that it would be able to do it. For example, when the computer goes into sleep mode, when the computer wakes back up, it will not connect with the mouse.
Oh, that blows.
Yeah. Also, there is a wake-up period on the Bluetooth that isn't there with like a traditional RF wireless mouse.
Like every time you let it go for a little bit, when you pick it back up, it's slow, or just like when you
start the computer up. And in fact, that's something that's kind of strange about this mouse. Most wireless mice turn off entirely after being inactive for a while. This one is always on. It sort of goes into a low power mode, but you can still see the red glow coming from it from the IR on the bottom. And so I wonder. I can't say anything about the battery life, but I wonder if that does affect it. And one last thing, my wife dropped this mouse on the floor, and it freaking exploded. I'm talking the back flew off, the batteries flew out, and I was just, oh my God. And she was like, I'm sorry. I mean, it wasn't hurt in the long run, but man, it wasn't like she dropped it off of a building. She dropped it like 2 feet from the couch, and it just hit the floor and pop everywhere.
And now we know why it doesn't connect all the time.
But you put it back together very well.
I put it back together, yeah. I mean, it was just, like I said, it was just the battery cover that came off. That's all.
Okay.
But I would wonder about how durable the mouse is in the long run. Overall, if you're looking for a very simple mouse and you're looking for Bluetooth, which means you wouldn't need a dongle on your laptop, it might be a good way to go. I didn't check to see how much it was, but it's Razer priced, so there it goes.
I'd say it's probably what, like 30?
I think
40?
it's 50.
50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most
I think that's
Bluetooth mice are around that
how much
area.
mine was. It
Yeah.
was about 50, so.
So yeah, it's a very decent mouse. Not my cup of tea, but if you like that extra sensitivity, it's the way to go.
Cool.
Well, very cool. I'm glad you got a chance to review it.
Yeah, and we'll come up with some sort of method of giving it away.
Yeah, and thank you, Razer.
Yeah,
for
appreciate
yes,
it.
thank you. You can send us anything else you want. And if any other company wants to send us stuff to review, feel free. You will get an honest review, so be warned, don't send us crap.
Oh, man. I guess that's we're going to wrap this sucker up with a nice little bow tie and some shoestring, right?
Yeah, I'll use the same shoestring that I used on my
To wrap up
headphones.
this podcast? Sweet.
Yeah. All right, shout-outs. Let's see. Our group player of the week is Mwaf, also called
Mwaf.
Mwaf.
Yeah,
He says it's Mwaf,
Mwaf.
and I kind of like that because it's not how it's done. And I made him group player of the week because he's done a lot of contributing lately, and we really appreciate that.
That's FOM backwards.
So anyway,
And whack him if you just change the letters around.
that's another episode, isn't it? Another one in the bag or in the can. Yeah.
It is another one.
So dig us,
Victory!
Leave us some reviews on iTunes.
give us thumbs up on Stumble Upon.
And add yourself to our Frapper map so we can see where you live.
I haven't done
Ooh, and
that yet.
fill out the listener survey.
Oh, yeah, that listener survey
Yeah,
is nice.
yeah.
Join the community and the forums. Our community was up to over 425 people last time I looked.
That's awesome.
Which is freaking awesome. And send us email, either text or voice email, or
Give us a call. 256
513.
4772.
Jinx.
72.
Oh, man, 2 Ford again. God.
That trick never works.
You are now at the end of another episode of Control Point,
Victory.
Every one of you deserves a medal!
a podcast brought to you by the Dead Workers Party. See the show notes and leave comments for this episode at controlpoint.deadworkers.com or leave us a voicemail at area code 256-513-4772.
Auf Wiedersehen!
Control Point, episode 11, recorded on January 3rd, 2008.
8?
8.
2008?
8.
2008?
Victory.